All right, Cam Newton ready to go. His Panthers 3-2-1. The head coaches, Mike McCarthy. 5 consecutive years in the playoffs, 6 of the last 7. Ron Rivera's team won 8 in a row and 11 of their last 12 last season to go 12-4 and make the playoffs. 48 degrees, some clouds in the skies, but this is a good football day, John.
This is perfect football weather in a place where football is meant to be played.
The Packers receive and take a knee. DeJuan Harris takes a knee. They'll start from the 20. The Carolina Panthers had actually won the coin toss and deferred. Aaron Rodgers, well, he told everybody, relax and I'll take care of things. Look at those numbers, John.
Well, if you like close to perfect, you like those numbers. And Aaron Rodgers has been absolutely phenomenal. This is exactly what Mike McCarthy wanted. He wanted a fast start. He said Carolina typically defers, and we hope they do because we want the ball. Remember last week in Miami, 80 yards to start the game, 9 plays, touchdown drive.
Eddie Lacy and John Kuhn in the backfield. No, excuse me, the tight end. Carlos lines up in the backfield, and it's Lacy carrying. And a hard 7 yards. And they want to be better on first down. Roman Harper with a stop on Eddie Lacy. Packers last 3 games averaging better than 35 points per game. And they got over 70 plays last week, which is what they wanted. Lacy again. Fights his way for a first down. Luke Kuechly the tackle. But the Packers, with 2 runs by Eddie Lacy, get a first down. Luke Kuechly the leader and the leading tackler, but the leader on defense for these Panthers.
And you see a drastically different Carolina defense. Number 2 ranked defense in the league. They're struggling this year, and they have to be better against the Packers.
Whoa. Aaron Rodgers slipped as he dropped back, but right in his face was Charles Johnson, and it's a sack.
You watch Charles Johnson at the top of your screen. Aaron Rodgers going to get back on the hard play action, and then he loses his footing. Charles Johnson falls into the sack. This is something that they've been missing. A Carolina Panthers team that led the NFL in sacks last year with 60, sorely misses Greg Hardy. He's on the commissioner's exempt list.
Loss of 10 on the last play, 2nd and 20. Rodgers turns and completes it to Randall Cobb, spinning and getting up to the 28-yard line. Luke Kuechly with another tackle. You will hear Luke Kuechly's name throughout the game.
Defensive Player of the Year last year in 2013, and I'll tell you, he's better this year. He is all over the field. An unbelievable football player to watch.
There's 3rd and long for Aaron Rodgers. The hard count. But Andrew Quarles may have moved too soon. His own quarterback getting him with a hard count.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense right defensive end. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
They called it on the right defensive end.
It was Wes Horton.
Yeah.
Right on that edge. We're going to see. Sure enough, he did draw. It was almost simultaneous. Right? Interesting that they called that for Green Bay, but a much more manageable 3rd down situation.
Have to get to the 40 for a first down. Again, flags go down. And that pass overthrown is intercepted by Roman Harper. Harper still on his feet. Another flag goes down on the return. And Harper out of bounds at the Green Bay 28-yard line.
Unfortunately for Carolina, I think Luke Kuechly, he doesn't do much wrong, but looks like he was offside as Rodgers went with the hard count again. It looks as if this will come back because of the offsides.
As a defensive player, what do you have to tell yourself to stay onside, John?
Watch the football. It's real clear. The football's right there. Don't listen to the quarterback because they're trying to manipulate you. You have to watch the ball right in front of you.
There are 2 fouls on the play after the interception. Number 21 of the intercepting team, the holding. That penalty is declined. Offside, number 59 in the defense. That penalty is accepted, 5 yards. It's still third down.
Now Aaron Rodgers came into the game having not thrown an interception since game 1 in the third quarter, and 1 interception all season long. So that offside penalty on Carolina negates what would have been an interception. And now what was 3rd and 12 is now 3rd and 2.
Keeps getting better.
3 receivers left. Now Jordy Nelson motions.
We 19! We 19!
Rodgers starts to run for it, dives, and he's got a first down. His mobility, to me, is always underrated.
Absolutely. He's an incredible athlete. You look at him scan the field, looking for all the options. They aren't there. Here's the other element that Aaron Rodgers has, the ability to move with his feet to extend plays. On that occasion, getting the first down.
Off the play fake. Rodgers puts it up to Jordy Nelson. Makes a move on Harper, and he's going to go all the way. Touchdown. What a combination. Rodgers and Nelson.
Mike McCarthy wanted a fast start, and Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson delivered with a little help from the Carolina Panthers. This has been a problem for the Carolina Panthers, tackling in space. Jordy Nelson is going to beat Kayson off the line, and here comes Roman Harper. They have to make that tackle. They've struggled in space, and it leads to a touchdown for the Packers.
59-yard touchdown pass. Aaron Rodgers' 16th touchdown pass of the season. And Jordy Nelson's 6th touchdown reception. The extra point, Mason Crosby, is good. The Green Bay Packers take the opening kickoff, 80 yards. And the Lambeau leap for Jordy Nelson. Look at that combination. One of the best. Well, Aaron Rodgers wanted to be more aggressive on first down, and he was.
He's winning that battle. McCarthy says we got to run it better on first down. Rodgers says, let's throw it better to set up the run. They did a little of both, and it worked.
Mason Crosby kicks it off. Philly Brown, 6 yards deep, brings it out. The rookie from Ohio State with a good return. Out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Sam, we talk about what works. This is what doesn't work. Roman Harper, this is not Kayson at all. This is a 2-deep coverage. That means the safety has half the field. You've got to get over the top. With Aaron Rodgers' arm, he may fit it in. You must make that tackle. Roman Harper has played a lot of fine football over his years. That was not an example of that.
Now the Panthers get their chance on offense with Jonathan Stewart back in the lineup at running back. Ed Dixon, the tight end, lines up in the backfield. Newton gets away from Mike Daniels and takes off and gets up to the 31-yard line, picks up 6 on the play. Sam Barrington with the tackle. Cam Newton, 100 career touchdowns, 71 passing, 29 rushing. And fewest games to 100 total touchdowns, 53. A nice company there for Cam Newton. He ran for 107 yards last week.
Unbelievable. They took the reins off him. He's coming off off-season ankle surgery last week. Ron Rivera says he's healthy. Let's let him go.
Jonathan Stewart stopped in the backfield. Clay Matthews with a penetration stopped him before he could get going.
This is what Clay Matthews does great. You see him at the top of our screen right here. He gets after people. He gets in the backfield and he disrupts. He says he's been reading a little too much. He wanted to play his style of football. That's Clay Matthews football.
Loss of 3 on the play. Brings up a 3rd and 7. And the crowd getting very loud. Delvin Benjamin is in the lineup, suffered a concussion, was cleared to play. And that pass overthrown, intended for Jericho Cotchery. Time for an update. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Well, last week, Baltimore's Joe Flacco had 5 touchdown passes his first 5 possessions. He's off to a good start against Atlanta. 1 possession, a 5-yarder to Owen Daniels, and a 7-0 lead. Sam, John, and Pam.
And wasn't it David Deal in the pregame show predicted Joe Flacco would throw 5 touchdown passes? He's on his way. Punting. Brad Nortman punting it away, and on the run is Randall Cobb. Another good return. Puts the Packers in excellent field position. Clay Matthews strong on defense. Here comes the offense with Aaron Rodgers. Receiving yardage.
Jordy Nelson has been fantastic this season. He is Aaron Rodgers' favorite target. Aaron says, look, I go where the read goes, but Jordy Nelson just gets open. I'm not trying to force it to Jordy. He just gets open.
He says he's always open. Eddie Lacy still the running back as the Packers start just short of the 44. Here's Lacy. Good hole. Solid run, and he's slowed down, finally pulled back by Charles Johnson. Give him 5 yards on the play. We're talking about the running game of the Packers, and Mike McCarthy says just need to get the backs more carries.
Absolutely. You got to get them more carries. And here's what it's been ailing the Carolina Panthers. You see that. All of 2013, 450-plus plays, 7 already through 6 games.
Hey, quick Jerry, 5-8. 5-9 from Mike Bader. Ready, stop.
Rodgers quickly outside to the other Rodgers, Richard Rodgers. The tight end makes the grab. Interesting dynamic in this game. Richard Rodgers, the tight end for the Packers. His dad is the special teams coordinator of the Carolina Panthers. No huddle. Aaron Rodgers throws it away. He was outside the pocket being pressured by Charles Johnson. There's a flag on the play. Jeff Triplett is our referee.
Too many men. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Result in a first down.
Well, you see Starlo Tulele trying to get off the field. He's the 12th player. And Aaron Rodgers, we tried to get a little Richard Rodgers' father-son. He outquicked us, and he outquicked the Carolina defense. He moves fast. This is the tempo they want to play with. You talked about the stated goal of 75-plus plays per game. This is the tempo Mike McCarthy wants for this offense.
3 wide receivers for the Packers.
Green 18! Green 18!
Rodgers with time, quickly to Jordy Nelson. He's brought down by Anton Cason. Pickup of 6 on the play. And the mix is good. I mean, it's the short stuff, it's the intermediate stuff, the long ball. It doesn't matter to Aaron Rodgers. He can do it all.
And that's really what's developed for the Packers throughout the course of the season. Early in the year, they weren't balanced run pass. Now they're balanced, and he's spreading the ball, not just to Jordy Nelson, but to Cobb, to Devontae Adams.
Rodgers under pressure, dropped it off to Jordy Nelson. He looked deep at first, then went short and got the first down.
Really good protection by this Green Bay offensive line. They struggled to protect him at Miami last week. And Jordy Nelson, they're going to bring him in motion. This is old school Green Bay. 2-jet flanker drive, find the open spot in the zone. Positive yards.
A lot of no huddle for the Packers on this drive. Here's Eddie Lacy cutting it back. Kuechly got the first piece, but Lacy kept fighting for a couple of yards. Down to the 31-yard line, a pickup of 2 on the play. That's the left tackle, David Bakhtiari. He's had some back problems, but got up a little slowly after that play.
I think they're going to give him a huddle to allow him to collect himself. They typically do not like the huddle. Mike McCarthy sees Bakhtiari down, says let's huddle up, give our left tackle a little time.
Green 18!
The play fake. Rodgers rolls. And it's Randall Cobb staying in bounds, getting down to the 15-yard line.
This is why Mike McCarthy says it's so important that we run the football. It's not the production. They love to have that, but it is the attempts because it sets up this aspect of their game. The play action pass, whether in the pocket or on that occasion, the bootleg out of it. Aaron Rodgers, a very effective play action passer.
Picked up 16, first down at the Carolina 15-yard line. Rodgers fires off the hands, a little too high for Randall Cobb. Green Bay Packers have been one of the best teams in the league in the red zone. 16 touchdowns on 23 possessions. They've scored 21 of 23 times in the red zone.
Jordy Nelson at the top of your screen, Cobb in the slot.
Rodgers to Jordy Nelson to the 5-yard line. Looks like he's got enough for the first down.
And that's just too easy. Kason worried about Jordy Nelson's speed, but down close to the red zone, you've got to hug up. There's too great of chemistry between Rodgers and Jordy Nelson. If you give that to him, they'll take it all day long.
And that's what he's doing on this drive. First and goal at the 5 for the Packers. They stay with the 3 wide receivers. Lacy carrying, bounces it outside. Touchdown! They make it look easy at times.
They are of late, and it's a tough combination. You got Eddie Lacy in the backfield. You've got all these receivers. Aaron Rodgers is the trigger man. It's tough to deal with, but you have to play fundamental football. Watch Kason at the bottom of your screen. He's going to go in motion with Jordy Nelson. He's got to be here putting an edge on this defense. No edge. Eddie Lacy sees it and takes advantage of it.
4th touchdown of the season for Eddie Lacy. Mason Crosby with the extra point. Packers have had the ball twice, and they have scored touchdowns twice. This time on the ground. Here at beautiful Lambeau Field with the statues outside. Eddie Lacy finishing off a 56-yard drive. Philly Brown deep. Mason Crosby kicks it off. And little confusion in the end zone. It goes through for a touchback. Carolina trying to get the offense going. Mike McCarthy likes it. His running back scored a touchdown on a first down run. 6-play drive, 9-play drive for the Packers. Carolina was 3 and out their first possession. Panthers start from the 20. With 2 tight ends. And not much there. Fighting for yardage is Jonathan Stewart, and he's able to get 5 on the play. Tuesday night, the big night. The World Series gets underway. San Francisco Giants looking for their 3rd World Series championship in the last 5 years. And the upstarts, the Kansas City Royals. They haven't lost in the postseason, John.
2 fun teams. You got Bumgarner going against big game James Shields. Good theater, good baseball. Looking forward to it.
Joe Buck, Harold Reynolds, Tom Verducci, they'll have a great call for you. Tuesday night, it all begins at 7:30 Eastern on Fox. Stewart sends it back to Cam Newton on the flea flicker. Puts it up for Jericho Cotchery. It's overthrown. He was well covered by Tramon Williams.
good tight coverage by Devon House, who's filling in for Sam Shields. Gets some help from Burnett. And on the other side, Tramon Williams. What I don't like about this, if you're going to run that flea flicker, put your speed guy out there. Conchery is a veteran who can find soft spots, not your speed guy. Tramon Williams says, all right, I'll run with him all day long.
Tramon Williams back in the lineup after being hurt in the game in Miami last week. They are without Sam Shields. Devon House replacing him. On 3rd and 5, Newton gets time. Nobody open. Now they got him. There's the sack. Nick Perry takes down Cam Newton, and it's another 3 and out for the Carolina Panthers.
You look at this Green Bay defense. They harass quarterbacks. You see the coverage down the field. Again, tight coverage. That gives Nick Perry, the linebacker, working against Chandler, the right tackle, time to come in, and bringing down Cam Newton is another thing altogether. He does it, and does it well.
Green Bay Packers have 9 players with at least half a sack this season. Brad Nortman punts it away. Micah Hyde covers it up at the Green Bay 37.
Aaron Rodgers out dueling Cam Newton, who's been under duress at Lambeau Field.
First 2 possessions for the Packers have led to touchdowns. Cam Newton has been stopped cold. Now the pack starting from the 38-yard line. James Starks is now the running back, with the tight end Andrew Quarles lining up in the backfield as the fullback. The delay to Starks. Kuechly trying to chase him down. Starks slipping a couple of tackles. Time for an update. Here's Kurt Menefee.
All right, the Rams off to another good start today against Seattle. Just a nice little 6-yard run by Trey Mason for a touchdown. They own the lead over the Seahawks late in the first quarter, 7-3. Sam, John, and Pam.
Thanks, Kurt. Rams have been getting off to good starts, haven't been able to hold leads.
You got to finish in this league. You have to finish. That's been their issue.
At the 45, a 2nd and 3. Starks again. And a first down. So both Lacy and Starks running with power.
Yeah, they are, and it's a really interesting 1-2 punch. And Mike McCarthy, he understands that Eddie Lacy is a big back who gets better as the game goes on, but he's really taken a big picture look at this season. Same thing he's doing with Clay Matthews, limiting the snaps in hopes that he'll have a fresh and healthy Eddie Lacy late in the year, and he's got a guy in James Starks who he trusts with that football.
Green 18!
Rodgers with time. And an open man is Randall Cobb. First down at the Panthers 37. And there's a flag down.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 21 in the defense. 15-yard penalty, and at the end of the play, first down.
That's on the safety, Thomas Decoud.
Well, this is a matchup that Aaron Rodgers was eager to take advantage of. Charles Godfrey really has been a safety in his career in the NFL. You see Thomas Decoud come in late. Not smart football, but that matchup is one Aaron Rodgers, whether it be Randall Cobb or Jordy Nelson. He said, look, I got a lot of respect for Godfrey, but my guys can beat him inside.
Aaron Rodgers, 8 for 9, 119 yards, 1 touchdown. Outside, the tight end, Andrew Quarles. That's a first down for the Packers. Down to the sideline is Pam Oliver. Pam.
Hey there, Sam. When the Panthers defense was on the bench, the secondary was really catching a little heat. Safety Roman Harper calmly listened as an animated Thomas Davis implored Harper to have those DBs start playing the ball.
Thanks, Pam. It was short of a first down. 2nd and 1. Turning it the other way, James Starks heading for the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown. Great effort by James Starks. And the Packers are 3 for 3. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns.
You talk about clicking on all cylinders. This Green Bay team is doing it. Complementary football, the run, the pass. Lacy, Starks, offense, defense, they're playing well in all phases. And this is a team to be reckoned with playing this kind of football. Clearly in is Starks, confirmed.
Mason Crosby, the extra point. And the Packers, who wanted to get off to a fast start, have gotten off to the best start. There's a lot of smiles on the Packers side of the field.
My goodness, I mean, you look at up front. Going to give the ball to Starks. They wind it back. And Starks' vision to be able to see that he's got the outside, to get outside and then hit it north and south, find the crease, and then just jam it in. Good 1-2 punch they have in Green Bay. And with Aaron Rodgers, it's a lot for a defense to deal with.
Packers came into the game having scored 45 points in the first quarter this season, and they've added 21 points to that. John, okay, let's talk Carolina now. They're down 3 touchdowns. What can they do to get this turned around?
Well, Cam Newton has to put this team on his shoulders. He's their best player, and you know, it's hard to stay patient when you're down 3 touchdowns. You've got to score. They got to let him throw the football, which he can do incredibly well. They got to keep the ball a little bit.
The kickoff, Philly Brown brings it out again. Had a good return earlier, 31 yards. This one a little shorter, stopped short of the 20-yard line. And now Carolina and Cam Newton have to find a way to get the offense going and keep the Green Bay offense off the field.
Mike Shula said that was a big part of their game plan. They wanted to be able to have a steady dose of runs so they could keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline. That hasn't been the case.
Jonathan Stewart in the backfield with Cam Newton. Newton throwing outside, and it's intercepted. And it is a touchdown for Clay Matthews. There's a flag on the play.
Clay doesn't know yet. I think this one's coming back. They're going to get Tramon Williams for PI. Watch Tramon Williams on Cotry. He's squatting.
Pass interference, defense, number 38. Ball will be placed in the spot of the foul. First down.
Sam, hard for an old defensive back to admit it, but I think it's a good call. Williams arrived early, sitting on Cotry, doesn't respect his speed. Clay Matthews says not this time.
It looked good. The Packers have 9 interceptions this season, second in the league. Only the Giants have more with 10. The first down at the 24, and it's Jonathan Stewart. And running hard, gets across the 30-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. Good to see Jonathan Stewart back in the lineup. They're still without D'Angelo Williams.
You look at that Carolina defense that was dominant through most of the 2013 season. They had some turnover. Greg Hardy not there because of legal issues. Completely different defense in 2014.
They keep it on the ground. Stewart gets up to the 33-yard line. Luther Robinson in on the tackle for the Packers.
You watch Clay Matthews. On my notes, on my board, relentless effort is there every week because that's what Clay Matthews plays with. He's a special player.
Carolina with injuries on the offensive line. May have another one right here. Turner goes to the sideline. He was injured on that last play. Carolina already without Amini Silatolu, who didn't make the trip. He's out with an injury. Fernando Velasco was starting, and now Andrew Norwell, a rookie from Ohio State, is in. He's at left tackle. Velasco the right tackle. And it's a 3rd and 1 for Carolina. Stewart trying to get to the first down marker, and it looks like he comes up short. Sean Richardson, the safety, leading the way for the Packers.
This is just really good defense. You look at the surge on third down. They're playing downhill. Here comes Richardson, hits him first. Barrington gets in there. Burnett and Clinton Dix come in. That's great team defense by the Green Bay Packers.
And once again, the offense for Carolina not able to sustain a drive. They're bringing out the chains for an official measurement. And as you see, about a foot short. Maybe not even a foot short. The Panthers bring out their punting unit. And the man hiding behind there is Dom Capers, the defensive coordinator of the Packers, whose team has had a good start to this game.
I think he's done a fabulous job with this defense. They kind of had to reinvent themselves. Last year they were bigger. B.J. Raji, Ryan Pickett in the interior. Now they're more penetrating. They play four linebackers, a lot as pass rushers. This defense playing very well.
Micah Hyde backpedals, lets it go, and it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Packers 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. First was the passing of Aaron Rodgers to Jordy Nelson. That was 59 yards. Then the running game got going.
Eddie Lacy bounces it to the right, Starks to the left. It's all working for the Green Bay Packers.
And we've seen a lot of that, a lot of smiles on the Green Bay side. Packers start from the 20-yard line. A little equipment adjustment on the sideline for James Starks. Aaron Rodgers 9 for 10 for 128 yards. Kevin Dorsey is in at wide receiver. Off the play fake, here's Dorsey. He actually lined up in a running back position. Luke Kuechly makes the tackle on the little swing pass as time winds down here in the first quarter. Only the second time in franchise history that Carolina has given up 21 points in the first quarter. All Green Bay from the opening kickoff. It's 21-0. Back in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers told us he always needs to know where Thomas Davis is. Well, they had a little chat.
2 great ones right there.
Start of the second quarter. Packers with a second down. Reversing is Randall Cobb as they use the wide receivers to run the football. First quarter statistics, unbelievable number there. 172 yards total offense for the Packers, 5 yards for Carolina.
That's not a misprint, folks. 5 total yards. Green Bay doing everything right. Cam Newton, the Carolina Panthers struggling.
Here's 3rd and 4 for the Packers with Eddie Lacy in the backfield.
Hey, Rick! You fucking left! What? Straight up! Ready! Flip!
Rodgers throwing short, it was tipped. Good play by Mario Addison, who's been the best pass rusher that Carolina's had. He leads the team with 4 sacks. And he usually comes in, gives them a spark, got the arms up.
Well, Addison has been a good pass rusher. You see him come unimpeded and then get a little hand on that. The pressure made Rodgers get rid of it quicker than he wanted to.
Philly Brown is deep. Takes it at the 18. Looking for some room, and he's out of bounds. Up to the 23-yard line. Get ready for the best Halloween treat of all. The Sunday Fun Day Spooktacular. All new episodes of your favorite comedies, including The Simpsons, Treehouse of Horror. It all starts at 8, 7 Central, tonight on Fox. We're talking Halloween here, John.
Absolutely. Those guys are ready. This has been a spooktacular for the Panthers thus far. Not a lot of good things going on. We'll see if they can sustain a drive.
Well, the defense got their first stop of the game. And now, let's see what the Carolina offense can come up with. Kelvin Benjamin is wide to the left side. Off the fake. Newton to Benjamin. Then the big rookie receiver goes up and grabs it. A couple of late flags come in. Matched up against Devon House was Kelvin Benjamin.
When it's going wrong, it's going wrong. It looks like this is going to be offensive PI on the Carolina Panthers.
Pass interference. Offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
That's Ed Dixon, the tight end.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's on the complete other side of the field. Yeah, there's Dixon blocking on the other side of the field. The Carolina Panthers not on their game. It negates the first catch for Benjamin, and that's really what the Panthers have to do. Benjamin and Olsen are their two best threats on offense. They've been completely uninvolved today. They need to get them involved.
Jonathan Stewart, the running back. Cam Newton gets time and finds Kelvin Benjamin. And he is pulled back, but it's a first down. Excuse me, it's short of the first down, but it's up across the 25 to the 26. Good throw by Cam Newton.
Well, the Carolina Panthers hit on this young man from Florida State. They needed him to come in. They completely retooled their wide receiving core. They needed him to come in and be a number one from the jump start, and he's been just that. He's been fantastic for the Carolina Panthers. A huge target, 6'5", 240, competes. Good player for the Carolina Panthers.
Came out after his sophomore year at Florida State. Newton outside. Jericho Cotchery takes it out of bounds. And we've got an update, and Joel Klatt's got it for us. Joel.
Hey, Sam, let's go to St. Louis. Of course, Seattle not with Percy Harvin, and their defense not showing up either. Benny Cunningham, the 5-yard TD reception from Austin Davis, and St. Louis up 14-3. John, Seattle has some adversity.
Surprising. I thought that team was loaded for bear, ready to repeat. They're struggling.
Cam Newton overthrows Jason Avant. Yeah, that Seattle team. What do you make of that trade of Percy Harvin?
It must have been really bad, because I think we all know how talented he is, and they were using him so well. That jet sweep, the production went down. He was a problem in the locker room, and I think they said, we're better off without him.
There's 2nd and 10. And Cam Newton keeping and going straight ahead. He's the leading rusher on this Carolina team, having run for 149 yards, 107 last week in the 37-37 tie in Cincinnati.
This is exactly what Clay Matthews wanted. He wanted a lead. He wanted a situation where he could focus on getting after a quarterback. Only 1 sack on the year. He says, nothing's wrong with me. Let's watch him rush.
Newton, quick turn, Jason Avant. A first down. Nice play. That was a good precision play.
It was, and you know, I think Clay Matthews is exactly right. There's nothing wrong with Clay Matthews. These type of quick throws throughout the National Football League, sacks are down. They're down because of the read option, the zone read, the quick screens, balls thrown behind the line of scrimmage to neutralize guys like Clay Matthews.
Panthers at the 45-yard line. Again, Newton steps up. And Newton throws, and nobody there. Pam Oliver's down at the sideline. Pam, what's happening?
Well, Sam, Ron Rivera had been applauding how most of the Panthers' offensive line had finally had some time together. Well, that could be changing here today. Right guard Trey Turner, he is back in the locker room. He's having his left knee examined. His return is questionable. Back to you.
Thanks, Pam. Fernando Velasco is playing right guard. Andre Norwell is playing left guard. Norwell, a rookie out of Ohio State. That's Andrew Norwell, excuse me. Newton outside for Jason Avant. And that's stopped right away. Clinton Dix on the tackle. But the throw is a little high, and Avant had to wait for it.
But here's the difference in the two defenses. This is great safety play. You have to tackle in space in today's football. Clinton Dix, he's infused some youth, some energy, fundamentals. That's great tackling. He was well schooled at Alabama. He's making a difference on this defense. They haven't had a safety presence since Charles Woodson, Nick Collins. He's bringing it.
Brenton Burson is in at wide receiver for Carolina on 3rd and 9. Newton, and it's almost intercepted by Tramon Williams, intended for Burson, and Williams read it well, just missed the pick, but Carolina forced the punt.
See Tramon Williams continuing to trust his speed and not respect the speed of the Carolina Panthers receivers. Nearly has an interception. Great pressure by Clay Matthews right up the middle on that last snap.
4th punt of the game for Brad Dortmund. Micah Hyde is back deep. Flags come out.
False start. Number 21 in the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
That's on Thomas Deku. He's on with the punt cover team. It has been all Green Bay. The Packers from the opening kickoff got the ball, marched 80 yards with a big touchdown strike from Aaron Rodgers to Jordy Nelson, and scoring touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. Micah Hyde lets it bounce, takes a Carolina roll, and is stopped at around the 5-yard line.
Well, Clay Matthews, he's a happy man in Lambeau Field. Cam Newton, not so much.
It's just great to come to a football game here in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, with 10 attempts in this game, has now gone 182 passing attempts without throwing an interception. A personal high, but still a long way from Bart Starr's franchise record. Eddie Lacy, the running back, gets the delayed handoff, looking for an opening, and finally is stopped and brought back. Coney Ely, the rookie out of Missouri, making the stop, a pickup of 3 on the play. There it is. Relax, said Aaron Rodgers 4 weeks ago.
Boy, were those words prophetic. He put everyone in their place. He said, we're going to be all right, and they've been better than all right. They've been fantastic since.
Rodgers gets time, drops it off to Eddie Lacy. Panthers are there, well covered. But look at Lacy almost break away from 3 Panther defenders. Got up to the 10-yard line.
This is Eddie Lacy. He's not used to coming off the field, so when he's out there, he's fighting for every yard. I mean, that's Thomas Davis, one of the better tackling linebackers in this league. Now, Thomas Davis trying to strip that ball, but Eddie Lacy just refuses to go down, always fighting for the extra yards.
Here's 3rd and 6, and jumping across was Coney Ely.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 94 in the defense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It's just sloppy football by the Carolina Panthers. There's no other way to say it. 3 times now the hard count. Is it difficult? Yes, but as I said, Rod Marinelli, the great defensive coordinator down in Dallas, watch the football. That's all you got to do. The football doesn't move. Football doesn't hard count. Watch the football. Get off on the ball.
So the head coach, Ron Rivera, talking to Coney Ely. Here's 3rd and 1 for the Packers as they load up the backfield. Lacy carries, first down, trying to break it. He's brought down with an ankle tackle by Roman Harper, the safety, a gain of 10.
This is one thing Mike McCarthy said he's got to do a better job of getting Eddie Lacy north and south. They've been doing too many stretch runs. Beautiful block by Richard Rodgers. That's Eddie Lacy's style of running. North and south, downhill. Safeties don't want to meet that man.
7 carries, 37 yards for Eddie Lacy, including a touchdown. And the Packers first down at the 25. There's Lacy. Big haul, breaks a couple of tackles, but they knocked him off balance, and he falls forward to the 37. He picked up 11 on the play. Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly got a piece of him.
You look at the size of this gap. Not supposed to be like this. Richard Rodgers coming across the line. That's a big gap for Thomas Davis and Kuechly to deal with. There's the downhill running McCarthy was looking for from Eddie Lacy.
Stitch right, stitch right. 319. 319.
Rodgers with time. Waiting and finds a man. It's Randall Cobb. Picks up a block. And another block. Randall Cobb out of bounds inside the 20. At the 17-yard line. 47-yard play.
That's one thing Randall Cobb does so well. He knows with Aaron Rodgers, he's going to extend the play. So you got to find the soft spot in the zone. Get open for him. You see him work back across the formation. Then he catches it. Then he does his work in space. You see the effort downfield. Watch Jordy Nelson at the end, blocking downfield. That's the leading receiver in the NFL. That much effort blocking, that's what's making the Green Bay Packers special right now.
Lacy, led by Richard Rodgers around the corner, but a nice defensive job done by the defensive cornerback, Melvin White, who's starting in place of the injured Josh Norman. And White did a good job breaking through.
He did an excellent job, and that's where Eddie Lacy gets himself in trouble. I mean, at times you're going to have to bounce, but he's got to understand he's 230 pounds. There's not a lot of people looking forward to seeing him come downhill. He's got to run like that on a consistent basis.
Loss of 2 on the play. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers waits. What patience. Dropped it off to Lacy. And Lacy fights his way out of a tackle and is brought down at the 14-yard line. He never gives it up.
No, he doesn't. Nor does Aaron Rodgers in that pocket. He's pumping the ball all over. He's moving in that pocket, scanning the field, finds Lacy.
James Starks comes in. Lacy goes to the sideline on 3rd down. Almost got him on the hard count. And now this time it's false start on the Packers. James Starks moved.
False start. 44 to the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
I will tell you, that's a good hard. He got me jumping up here in the booth every time he's hard counting. I mean, that's a good and effective, and the great ones do it. They know it's a tool, particularly at home, that they can use to their advantage. Peyton Manning, one of the best, and Aaron Rodgers taking advantage of it. That time got Bakhtiari.
It's only the 4th false start penalty on the Packers this season. Back to the 20-yard line. Have to get to the 7 for a first down. Rodgers steps up and takes off. He's at the 10. He's out of bounds at the 5. First down, Packers. Just have to admire everything he does.
It's tough to defend that. You got so many weapons at the wide receiver. I want you to watch Randall Cobb at the top of your screen. Going to be right there. Watch him work for Aaron Rodgers. All of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers points. Get me a block. He gets him the block. First down. You're rushing hard. Looking downfield. It's hard to deal with that.
16-yard pickup. They spotted at the 3. First and goal for the Packers. And a timeout as the play clock was coming down to 0. The Packers with a 21-0 lead and looking to make it a lot more.
Aaron Rodgers not just tough on the Carolina Panthers. Watch out, Shauna. That's our Parab operator down there. And a nice gesture from Luke Kuechly picking her up. They hang tough, Shauna.
First and goal, Packers.
Too late. 319.
Rodgers throwing. Touchdown, Randall Cobb. They march down, and they've got so many guys to go to, and he found Randall Cobb.
Well, anybody watched Notre Dame, Florida State last night? Same play. This is how you run it. Jordy Nelson, a little better sell job on the pick play. Doesn't get called for the offensive pass interference. Aaron Rodgers, that's Aaron Rodgers above the neck. He saw the cover zero, the all blitz look, checks to that sprint right option for Randall Cobb. Aaron Rodgers so good physically and mentally.
Randall Cobb leads all wide receivers in touchdown receptions this season. That's his 8th of the season. 9 plays, 94 yards. Touchdown, Cobb. All right, let's check out this Lambeau leap from Jordy Nelson. That was earlier in the game when he scored the 59 touchdown pass.
There's Randall Cobb. He did the Lambeau leap, and he got a little catch-up on the shoulder over there. He's a moving target. Oh, man.
The least they could have done was give him a few French fries.
Give him a brat.
A long kickoff by Mason Crosby, and Carolina has got to find a way to get themselves together. And a little cleaning job, yeah, get out the cleaning spray. Want to make sure the uniform looks good. Randall Cobb, 8 touchdown catches. And for Aaron Rodgers, 17 touchdown passes.
3057.
Cam Newton and the Panthers start from the 20-yard line. Newton was hit as he threw. Good pressure from Josh Boyd, who's starting for the injured Dayton Jones.
Well, when you look at the Green Bay Packers defense, about middle of the road in terms of sacks, but they do harass quarterbacks. You see the pressure up the middle, that affects the throw. Tom Capers, one of the things he looks at, quarterback rating, the opposing quarterback's rating. They're second in the league coming into today. So while they aren't always sacking them, they're always affecting quarterbacks and have been extremely effective in doing so this season.
The word they like to use, John, is disruptive. Second and 10. Newton throwing too high. He hasn't been sharp. He's thrown a lot of high passes in this first half. And Carolina has not gotten anything going offensively whatsoever.
And I said it the last series, I think when you're struggling, you go to your best players. And Greg Olsen's been non-existent today. I think he's one of his best players, one of his most dependable players, along with Benjamin, the rookie. I think that's where Cam Newton and Mike Shula needs to help him by getting him involved.
Third and 10. They come with a blitz. He drops it off. There's Greg Olsen, but he's brought down by Micah Hyde, short of the first down.
You see Greg Olsen on a little shallow cross, but here again is the difference, tackling in space. Micah Hyde says, I've got 9 yards to give. I'll let you catch it, but I'm going to make the tackle. Micah Hyde playing exceptionally for the Green Bay Packers.
3 3-and-outs for the Carolina Panthers. Nordman punts it away. Randall Cobb backs up to the 15. Room to return. Picks up a good block. And gets up close to the 40-yard line. Everything going right for the Packers.
Nothing going right for the Panthers. Domination for the Packers.
That's the head linesman, John McGrath, who was shaken up. Mike Pereira, what happens if the official can't continue?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there is no alternate official on sites. Alternates only are in the playoffs. So what they'll do is they'll move the back judge over to the line of scrimmage, and now you got a couple guys working in position that they're not used to working in, but the league forces the officials to study six-man mechanics so they know what their responsibilities are just for this situation.
Thanks, Mike. Packers start from the 39 after a 25-yard punt return by Randall Cobb, his longest of the season, making 24, excuse me. This one is the check down to James Starks, and Starks across the 45-yard line.
I'm going to put a little note in the suggestion box of Roger Goodell.
Yes.
Let's have an extra official on site. We got $1 billion industry here. Billions of dollar industry. It might be smart to have an extra guy.
Good thought on your part.
Ready?
2nd and 3. Starks waits for something to open up. Short of a first down. Here's an update with Joel Klatt.
All right, Sam, let's head up to Buffalo, where Teddy Bridgewater gets his first career touchdown pass. Why not throw it to the talented second-year player, Cordarrelle Patterson? 4 yards, 10-7 Vikings in that one. Sam.
Good to see Bridgewater back in there for the Vikings. There's James Starks trying to get outside. They went wide on the 3rd and 1, and a good defensive play led by Thomas Davis for the Carolina Panthers. Stops the Packers short of the first down. Loss of 6 on the play. And the 2-minute warning here in Green Bay, where the Packers have dominated the first half, 28-0. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Sam Rosen, John Lynch, Pam Oliver here at Lambeau Field, where it's been a good day for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers to this point. Philly Brown is deep to receive the punt of Tim Mastay. And wait for a fair catch. It goes through the end zone for a touchback. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee to see what's coming up at halftime.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, we'll get you caught up on the day as Brian Hoyer and the Browns go for their 3rd straight win. Andrew Luck and the Colts go for their 5th in a row. Brandon Marshall and the Bears, well, they look for their first home win of the season. It's all coming up at the half.
The guys are ready, and Terry's checking out all the highlights. He'll be the last one at the desk. Cam Newton's got to get something going. Now, Carolina's been a good second-half team this season, but this is a long way to come back. Newton throws. Greg Olsen. First down. That was a good throw and catch. A.J. Hawk covering Greg Olsen on the play. Olsen, the leading receiver for Carolina. And a handoff to Jonathan Stewart. And that went nowhere. Diagnosed by Casey Hayward.
Casey Hayward is part of this depth. We see Sam Shields out, and we see a team incredibly able to adjust because they've built. You got to give Ted Thompson, the general manager, a lot of credit. Devon House, Casey Hayward, these are guys that have played a lot of football, and when you lose a guy like Sam Shields, you're losing something, but you're okay.
Newton on 2nd down with time. Nobody open. Goes short to Olsen again. He's up close to the first down, maybe a yard short. Morgan Burnett covering on the play. Carolina uses a timeout. Week 7 continues later today on Fox. Big game, the Giants and Dallas Cowboys. Then on CBS tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. Tomorrow it's Monday Night Football on ESPN. All great action and a lot to watch and enjoy.
We've seen Greg Olsen come alive. I was talking about it, and you know, you just have to. If he's your leading receiver, you got to get him involved. You got to find ways, move him around, and that's a security blanket for Cam Newton, and Cam's starting to rely on it.
Here's third and a long one. Newton follows his guard and pushes ahead for a first down. Big Cam, tough to bring down. Andrew Norwell, the rookie out of Ohio State, number 68, led him through the hole. And another timeout called for by the Carolina Panthers. Quite a first half. It started with the decision by Ron Rivera, won the coin toss, but elected to defer, and that's what Green Bay wanted. He was actually playing into Green Bay's hands.
Yeah, I think Ron Rivera and the Carolina Panthers are going to have to quickly realize they don't have the defense they had in 2013. So to give the ball to Aaron Rodgers, who's making a habit out of going down on the first drive, not too smart. And Green Bay took advantage of it, and they've been dominant since.
First down, Panthers at the 48-yard line. Newton throws, and a great catch by Kelvin Benjamin. Using his height to take it away from Tramon Williams.
And this is what we've talked about, the matchup that favors the Carolina Panthers. You see Cam throw an excellent football where Benjamin can take advantage of that height advantage. 6'5". He's made a habit out of doing this. He's excellent.
Newton waits, throws to the sideline. That's incomplete. Jason Avant out of bounds on the catch. If Carolina can get some points here, and of course they're running out of time, they will get the ball to start the second half.
Jason Avant attempts, and I think that right foot just comes right off the ground. Very close. Great effort by Avant.
12 seconds remaining. Carolina has one timeout remaining. The ball just short of the 20-yard line. That's Person in motion. All receivers out, and they stop the play.
Delay of game, offense. Number 1, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Cam is slapping his hands to Ryan Khalil. Give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. And just the sloppiness continues for the Carolina Panthers. Been a very ugly half.
That should never happen.
No, it really shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
Ball back to the 26. With 12 seconds remaining in the first half. And Carolina showing some life offensively. Newton steps up. And goes down at the 16-yard line. With 5 seconds remaining.
Look at Cam Newton has a great game. But watch Clay Matthews right here. This is what you call a bull rush. He takes Byron Bell right back to Cam Newton, and Cam Newton can't do anything else but run, and he runs for positive yards. Unbelievable play by Clay Matthews. The sacks haven't come, but don't tell me he's not disrupting opposing quarterbacks.
So now the Panthers will look to put 3 points on the board as Graham Gano comes out and sets up for a 33-yard field goal. The holder is Brad Nortman. The long snapper is J.J. Jansen. And the kick is through, but a whistle blew. They stopped the play.
Timeout. Green.
Packers had called timeout before the snap. The Visa halftime report coming up with Kurt, Howie, Jimmy, Terry, and Michael all in the studio. They'll have highlights of all the games around the NFL. How about that score in St. Louis? The Rams at halftime leading Seattle 21-6. Graham Gano, 33-yarder is good. Carolina gets on the board at the end of the half. It's only 3 points, but it's something, and they'll get the ball to start the second half. Aaron Rodgers, great first half. 15 of 17, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Packers put it all together from the start of the game and lead 28-3 at halftime. Welcome back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, and glad you're with us for the NFL on Fox. Today's excitement is brought to you by Nissan. Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, third set of teammates, each with touchdown catches in 4 straight games. First time since 1940. Well, all Green Bay in that first half from the opening kickoff. Now you're Carolina. You got a little life in offense at the end of the first half, and you get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, I think you pick up where you left off at the end of that half. They got Benjamin involved. They got Greg Olsen involved. You got to continue to run Stewart a little to keep Clay Matthews and put Peppers off you. But Green Bay, they look like a well-oiled machine, hitting on all cylinders, offensively, defensively. Aaron Rodgers in a zone like I haven't seen a quarterback in a long time.
All right, now you're Cam Newton, and you've had some problems. You've got to find some openings there. Mason Crosby kicks it off. Billy Brown out of bounds, and they'll start from the 20. We go to the sideline to Pam Oliver.
Well, Sam, I asked Ron Rivera what he planned to stress at halftime. He didn't let me get the question out before he said we got to stop jumping on the hard count. Offensively, he said, make some plays, and then he added that the Packers aren't doing anything that they did not expect. Mike McCarthy, he told me he wants the Packers to play at a level and the standard that they set in the first half, even play above it. He also wants to see more points on the board. Back to you.
Thanks, Pam. It'll be interesting, John, because second half last week, Miami came on strong offensively.
They did. They did. Ryan Tannehill made some adjustments at halftime. We'll see if Cam Newton can do the same.
He's got the loaded backfield. The play fake. Has time. And wide open is Greg Olsen. Up to the 36-yard line.
A real nice job of the play action, which gives them some time. Good job by the offensive line. And Greg Olsen, this is called cross-country route. Coming from one side all the way to the other. Cam with a nice ball. And Olsen goes up and gets it.
Good way to start if you're Carolina.
Absolutely.
Build a little
Absolutely.
confidence here. Cam Newton 9 for 17, 103 yards. Passing. The fake, the spin, and the screen pass. Jonathan Stewart, couple of blocks. Turns it into a nice gain. Stewart with a nice return of the lineup for Carolina. And they need his running ability. That time was after the catch.
I like it by Mike Shula. They've run the screen, the tear screen to the left. Now you fake the tear screen, come out to the right. Velasco and Khalil, a good job blocking downfield. Got some rhythm now in this Carolina offense.
2 plays, 29 yards. Ball at the 49-yard line, the first down. 12-yard pickup by Jonathan Stewart on that screen pass. 3 wide receivers. Greg Olsen in the backfield. Outside, Jericho Cotchery able to hang on and turn it into a little gain. Actually close to a first down. Good job by Cotchery.
Not a real good throw by Cam Newton, but Cotchery makes him look good going up and get. We saw how Clinton Dix make this tackle in the first half. Swings and misses. Again, the rhythm continues for Carolina.
Pickup of 9, 2nd and 1. The veteran Jericho Cotchery started with the Jets. Last 3 years in Pittsburgh. His 11th year in the NFL. Off the play fake. The throw is tipped and falls incomplete. Joel Klatt's got an update for us.
All right, Sam, let's head up to Detroit where Drew Brees got things going offensively. But we should expect this. They're in a dome, right? Well, they've lost their last 6 on the road, but Kenny Stills' 46-yard touchdown puts them up 17-3 over the Lions. Sam and John.
Thanks, Joel. That's a score that helps the Packers because both teams, the Lions and Packers, 4-2 starting play today.
No doubt about it. Impressive, Drew Brees. That Detroit defense has been excellent thus far. Drew Brees finding some holes in it.
Here's third and a long one. And the handoff to Jonathan Stewart, and he's very close. I think he came up a little bit short.
You see them give the ball on this zone read, and a tremendous job by Guyon pushing the line of scrimmage back, and Barrington and Matthews stop him short. Fourth down. This is where you gotta have it plays. The Packers talked about expect the ball in Cam Newton's hands. Be interesting to see if that's the case.
Carolina 4 for 4 on fourth down plays this season. And there's Cam Newton trying to go straight ahead with that big body. And let's see where they spot the ball. Packers are saying no. Jeff Triplett is saying bring out the chains.
You see Cam Newton, you talk about that big body. I think he gets bigger every time I see him because I'm amazed that he plays the quarterback position. We'll see. This is all going to be about the spot. He uses that 6'5", good push up front. See Cam pushing those legs.
Right behind Ryan Khalil, Fernando Velasco, and Andrew Norwell, and they came up short. Wow, Cam Newton can't believe it. But Carolina turns it over on downs as the Packers defense does the job. Back at Lambeau Field, Carolina has challenged the spot here, John. And Mike Pereira is with us in our studio. Mike, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, they're not going to win the challenge because there's nothing that shows
the ruling on the
clearly
field
where the ball
stands. Carolina is charged their first timeout and their first challenge.
You know, interesting guys from the standpoint of this is a play that has to be challenged. It's not considered a turnover and an automatic review. That's why Carolina was forced to challenge. If you do not reach the line to gain on fourth down, the only way that you can get that play to get reviewed is to challenge it.
Thanks, Mike. And a tough one.
And I think a chance Ron Rivera had to take at this point to take that challenge. Not enough there to show that you could overturn it, though.
Packers start from the 41-yard line. Their first possession of the second half. Blitz from the outside was picked up. Rodgers takes off and gets a couple of yards. See some of the numbers in the first half. Aaron Rodgers, 15 for 17 passing, 194 yards. Eddie Lacy running the ball well, a touchdown run. Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson. A lot of weapons, as you said right at the top, John.
Everything's working for the Green Bay Packers.
Eddie Lacy fighting his way up across the 45-yard line. It looks to me, John, that Carolina is trying to just dig in a little more defensively the last couple of times Green Bay's had the ball.
And they've done a nice job, but now it's Green Bay's challenge. Get that ball in space. This team, this defense, the secondary in particular, struggles tackling in space. Aaron Rodgers got to put it in those guys' hands where they can get those yards after catch.
Three wide receivers. Split the tight end as well. That's Andrew Quarles. Rodgers, Randall Cobb. Couple of nice moves, still going. And shoved down by Thomas Davis. But Randall Cobb took a little pass and turned it into a huge gain.
And that's just what I was saying. It's the Achilles heel of this Carolina defense. 33 yards on a 2-yard pass. You got to be able to tackle the ball carrier. Melvin White misses. Godfrey misses. Here comes Addison. He misses. And that's just too easy. That's bad defense. It's poor. You shouldn't see it at this level.
First down at the Carolina 21-yard line. Rodgers gets time. Wide open, Davante Adams. Touchdown. Davante Adams was the forgotten man in the first half.
Watch the catch-up, Davante.
That was a pretty good lead. Another touchdown pass for Aaron Rodgers. 3 in the game, 18 on the season.
Aaron Rodgers has just been phenomenal. The way he attacks the field, but yet protects the football, it's unparalleled in this league right now.
Extra point is good. Packers blowing it open. 35-3. And Aaron Rodgers getting everybody involved in the act.
Things here, beautiful design, beautiful protection. You give Aaron Rodgers this much time. Watch Godfrey. They're going to sit Cobb down, then you open it up right behind him to Davante Adams. You give Aaron Rodgers that much space, that much time, he will eat you alive, and that's what he's doing to the Carolina Panthers today.
The kickoff, and Philly Brown takes a knee. Davante Adams with a touchdown reception.
See those eyes. He's looking at Godfrey right there. He sits on Cobb. He knows that Davante Adams coming right behind him. He's involved all his receivers. I think it's brilliant. Last week, Davante Adams, a rookie struggling with confidence. He gives him the first pass of the game, gets him going. They've got another player on their hands in Davante Adams. All these guys, Sam, coached by Edgar Bennett, former Packer great running back. He's doing a fabulous job as the wide receiver coach in Green Bay.
Davante Adams' second career touchdown, the rookie. Cam Newton, big pressure, and they got him. Clay Matthews involved, Julius Peppers involved. They'll share the sack.
I don't know if they'll share the sack, but Julius Peppers should give it to Clay Matthews, because watch him push. Did it to the left tackle, now let's do it to the right. Pushes him right in Peppers' lap. And Peppers says, thank you very much, Clay. And Clay Matthews, I know he's frustrated with only one sack, but that kind of play, that will win you championships. He's playing outstanding football.
Peppers does get credit for the sack with an asterisk for Clay Matthews. On 2nd and 16, Newton throws. Greg Olsen, nice grab. And he's up to the 37. Time for an update. Here's Joel Klatt.
All right, Sam, let's go to Washington. Kirk Cousins was benched coming out of halftime. So, Colt McCoy on his first pass attempt of the season, no way. Yes way. Pierre Garçon, 70 yards for a touchdown. Washington's up 13-10. Oh, the NFL is cruel, John Lynch.
It is, Joel Klatt. It's that easy at quarterback.
23-yard pickup for Cam Newton and Greg Olsen on that last connection. Newton looks again, rolling and throwing it away. Jericho Cotchery well covered on the play. For Carolina, last week at Cincinnati put up 431 yards, but not happening today here in Green Bay.
And I think it's a testament to this Green Bay defense. People not giving them the respect, but I've watched them a lot. We've had them for the last 5 weeks, and every week they're getting better. They're putting together a top-flight defense here in Green Bay.
Pressure on Cam Newton and got rid of it. Looking for a screen pass to Jonathan Stewart, but it wasn't happening.
Pretty nice luxury when you can say, you know what, we're going to give Clay Matthews a rest. And here comes Mike Neal. Here comes Nick Perry. They are so deep at the linebacker pass rusher position. It's the elephant position, they call it. They got a lot of elephants in Green Bay.
I think what you pointed out before, John, the increased depth on the defense has really helped the Packers come on defensively after a slow start. 3rd and 10. They push Cam Newton back. Matthews missed him. Matthews chases again. Then he got knocked down, and Cam Newton Able to get up to the 42-yard line, but he's short of the first down. Gain of 5 on the play.
Clay Matthews, look at this effort. Watch him working against Byron Bell. Again, the bull rush. Hard to bring Cam Newton down, but is he going to quit? No. He comes all the way, and here's another blocker for him, playing so hard. Almost getting there, but boy, is he affecting this game.
Brad Nortman has gotten a lot of work in this game and gets this one away. High, long kick goes through the end zone for a touchback. 59-yard punt, nets 39. Clay Matthews has been good.
You kids at home, this is the kind of effort that you need to play with.
We are back at Lambeau Field where Cam Newton has had a rough day trying to get the Carolina offense going. Green Bay has been all over him. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers putting up tremendous numbers. 17 for 19, 248 yards. James Starks, the running back. And 3 touchdown passes for Aaron Rodgers. Starks. A burst of speed through the hole. Gets up to the 34-yard line. New this season, stream live local Sunday afternoon games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. I've got that. Do you have that, John?
I don't. I got to catch up.
Oh, come on, John. Got to have that. This way, when we go to the airport, we can watch the games in the car.
I got your phone.
2 tight ends in, Richard Rodgers and Andrew Corliss. It's something the Packers are looking for, too, to improve the tight end position. Corliss gave him the big catch at the end of the game in Miami. Here's Starks. Good, nice balance for the Packers. Charles Johnson on the tackle.
Sam, you make a great point there. You know, Aaron Rodgers, the crazy thing when you talk to him, we're not on a roll yet. We still got improvement. He wanted first down better. He talks about the tight ends. He said, we're not where we want to be yet. It's coming, but we're not there yet. He feels like Corliss is coming on, wants to get Rodgers more involved.
James Starks limped off after that last play. And a little bit hobbled on the sideline, being checked out. Eddie Lacy is back in. Aaron Rodgers stepped up and they got him. That time nobody open, well covered by Carolina, and Thomas Davis comes in for the sack.
Really good coverage down the field. Kuechly is going to bring the pressure up the middle, doesn't allow Rodgers to step up like he wants to, and Davis with tremendous effort to finish off the sack.
Second sack of the game for the Panthers. 3rd and 12 for the Packers. Have to get to the 44 for a first down.
158.
Rodgers fakes right, drops it off to Eddie Lacy, and the Panthers have it well covered.
That's better. They stayed on sides, first of all, with another hard count. Then they're rallying to the football, starting to play extremely hard. DeJuan Edwards turning and retracing. That middle of the fields, that's locked down for Carolina. Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis patrolling. It's in the back end. It's on the exterior where they're really struggling as a defense.
They went for the block. Mastay got it away. Philly Brown looking to return. And he gets up across the 20-yard line. The ball comes loose.
Big time hit.
They may have been down before the ball came loose.
It's Ha-Ha Clinton Dix who put the hit on along with Bostic. It's a matter of whether they call that ball loose right there.
I think Philly Brown did well to hold on to it, John. Let's see here on this angle. Looked like he was down.
Welcome back to Green Bay. I think this call will stand as it did on the field. Watch that right elbow, the ball in the left arm, the right elbow down, then the ball comes out, Carolina ball.
And they start from the 21-yard line, spread the offense, and the officials get together. Mike McCarthy comes out on the field to talk to Jeff Triplett.
Green Bay is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was down by contact.
Oh, just as they were about to snap the ball, Mike McCarthy decides to challenge. Jeff Triplett is ready with his decision on the challenge.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Green Bay is charged their first timeout and their first challenge.
We're also seeing Philly Brown, the punt returner and wide receiver, head off to the locker room. You see the Packers have accumulated 346 yards total offense. Cam Newton and the Panthers start from the 21. Pressure. Nick Perry was there. The screen pass to Greg Olsen. And Olsen with a nice gain up to the 41-yard line. Jamari Lattimore and HaHa Clinton-Dix on the tackle.
Well, Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator, trying to take advantage of the intense pass rush of the Green Bay Packers. Little misdirection, tight end screen to Olsen, who's playing superb football for the Carolina Panthers.
6 catches, 90 yards. And here's Olsen again, knocked out of bounds, just short of midfield. That's James Starks being taped up. He limped off on that last Packers possession.
It's interesting with Greg Olsen. He played in this division with the Chicago Bears, and Dom Capers, a lot of the Packers are saying, you know, it's interesting. In his 8th year, he looks better than ever.
Second and 2. Cam Newton being rushed, throws, and once again, it's Greg Olsen. So now it's that singular combination of Newton and Olsen.
Wear it out until they stop it.
That's all.
Why not? Why not? It's these tight ends across the league. It's a tough matchup. Haven't played that position. They're bigger than you are as a safety. They're too fast for linebackers. Corners the size, it's really tough. I think the answer is you get up in their face and you disrupt them early. No one seems to want to do that. No.
First down, Carolina at the Green Bay 41. Jonathan Stewart trying to cut it back. Packers are there. All over it. And trying to rip the ball loose. Morgan Burnett, the safety, led the charge.
The great defenses I played on. Number one, had great support from the safety position in the run game, but then watch the pursuit. When you start flying to the ball as a defense, you've taken it to another level, and that's what I'm seeing from Green Bay. I'm seeing a lot of hustle and a lot of well-schooled play. Dom Capers' defense playing at a high level.
Loss of a yard on the play, 2nd and 11. Newton waiting. Avoids the rush, gets outside, and then throws it away. Nobody open downfield. Well covered by the Packers.
Sam, we talked about it early. Look at not all the sacks, but again the pressure. They're harassing the quarterback. Kelvin Benjamin needs to take heed from these Green Bay wide receivers. You see what they do when Aaron Rodgers is scrambling. They find the soft spot. Carolina wide receivers kind of standing around, nowhere for Cam Newton to go.
Here's 3rd and 11. Three wide receivers in. Greg Olsen lines up in the backfield. Newton gets time. And going outside too high, there's a flag on the play. Pass intended for Jason Avant, and he was covered by Devon House. Looks like
Illegal contact. Defense, number 31. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Devon House outside on Avant. Playing off coverage. There's the illegal contact right now. Right there. Didn't look like a whole lot, but that's what the officials are being asked to call by the competition.
Has that changed a lot since you played, John?
Yeah, that kind of, it used to have to be obvious, forcible. And really what's changed is when they're enforcing it. The rule's always been the same. It's that they're enforcing it on a much more frequent level.
First down, Panthers at the Packers 37. Newton. And threw it right into the hands of Casey Hayward, who's still on his feet and still going. Casey Hayward. In his rookie year, he had 6 interceptions. Injuries last year, looking to make this a big bounce-back year. Another pick for the Packers. Their 10th interception of the season.
But again, it starts up front. Watch Clay Matthews whoop his man. Pressure on Cam, ball out, and Casey Hayward gets a gift. But Casey Hayward, a very opportunistic player. You talked about the 6 interceptions. His rookie year, 1 last week. It's all working for Green Bay.
That was a bad throw by Cam Newton, but Casey Hayward was in the right spot. And the Packers putting it all together. There's the master of defense for the Green Bay Packers. 10 interceptions. Ties Green Bay with the Giants. The Giants will play later today in the America's Game of the Week. And Lacey with a good run. The ball comes loose. And the Packers able to recover. At least that was the initial signal. Looks like Brian Bulaga may have recovered this one.
Eddie Lacy fighting for those extra yards, and when you do that, you fall prone to the ball. People are going to attack the ball.
The foul. Defense, number 59. An action also disqualified him from the game.
Oh boy. Luke Kuechly is out of the game. The leader of the Panthers defense.
Let's watch at the end of this play. Richard Rodgers pulls Clay Matthews off and Luke Kuechly off. And Luke Kuechly, he feels like he's getting pulled by players, referees all around him. He pulls real quick to get off, and you can't make contact with the official, but I don't blame him. He's getting pulled in all directions. He's frustrated. They throw him out.
As Luke Kuechly heads off, a terrific young competitor, but
watch, he's pulled by Richard Rodgers off right there. The foul should be on Richard Rodgers, and then he gets pulled again. He doesn't know who's pulling him. He's just saying, get off me. And I think the officials should stop and pause at that point and understand there's a lot of bodies in there. I don't think that's warranted of kicking Luke Kuechly out of this game. He's got no idea that that's an official right there. I don't like that call. I think Luke Kuechly's a clean player, a great player, and that doesn't warrant. I understand you can't make contact with an official, but right there, you got to understand the scenario. He's getting pulled in all directions.
And I think Ron Rivera is arguing that with Jeff Triplett and the other officials. Mike Pereira's in our studio. Mike, what do you think of that situation, the way it unfolded?
I agree with John Lynch totally here. I mean, Kuechly gets pulled off the pile, and then he gets up, and he really doesn't know that it's a former Buffalo safety that has him, by the way, Steve Freeman, and he really kind of swings away. I think you have to look at the whole picture here and not react too quickly. I mean, you can't contact an official, but I think he wasn't mad at the official. He was mad at the player that pulled him out of the pile.
Thanks, Mike. Play continues. Panthers without Luke Kuechly. Ben Jacobs, second-year man out of Fresno State, in at middle linebacker. And The pickup, A.J. Klein with a tackle, pickup of 4 for Eddie Lacy.
And you know, lost in that whole deal is Charles Johnson caused the fumble. And it looks like Bulaga came up with the ball. And so that's why that wasn't the issue. But that was a fumble caused by Charles Johnson. A lot going on there, Sam.
4th possession for the Packers in the red zone today. They're 3 for 3, scoring 3 touchdowns. Off the play fake, Rodgers completing it. Short pickup to Brandon Bostic, the 3rd tight end. Coming up Tuesday night, it's baseball at its best. The World Series, it opens up in Kansas City. Royals haven't lost in postseason, 8-0. But the Giants, they're pitching, they're hitting, they've got it all together. It should be a great World Series. It begins Tuesday night, 7:30 Eastern, right here on Fox.
I think that place will be rocking in Kansas City. Those fans know how to get loud. It'll be a fun environment.
They've waited a long time for this. Good for them. 3rd and 4. Rodgers with time to the end zone. A little too high. Trying to get it to Richard Rodgers, the rookie tight end.
Rodgers, he wants perfection. And I think he puts a catchable ball here. Richard Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers says he just doesn't have enough big plays in the bank yet. Keep running, you got yourself a touchdown. Instead, he jumps, and it's just outside of his outstretched arms. They just haven't quite linked up, Richard Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers, but they think he's got a fine future ahead of him. Aaron Rodgers disgusted.
34-yard field goal try for Mason Crosby. And that one is right through. So the Packers put 3 more on the board, lead at 38-3. We look back and take you back to Carolina in the NFC Championship game here at Lambeau. Dom Capers was the head coach then of Carolina. And Edgar Bennett was a running back.
The Lambeau lead for Mr. Bennett.
Very nice. He now is the receivers coach, as you mentioned, and Mike McCarthy likes to use a lot of those former players, doesn't he, John?
Former players, he loves it, and that's not something that is big around this league. They've got multiple guys: Edgar Bennett, Sam Gash, Darren Perry on this staff. And Edgar Bennett, Mike McCarthy went out of his way to say, look, there's no finer wide receiver coach in football. He's a former running back. He brings the perspective of a running back, of protections. These are smart receivers: Jordy Nelson, Cobb, Devontae Adams. Hats off to Edgar Bennett. He's doing a heck of a job in Green Bay.
Jordy Nelson and Edgar Bennett checking things out. There's Dom Capers, who's now the defensive guru for the Green Bay Packers. Mason Crosby kicking off with Philly Brown gone to the locker room with an injury. Trenton Burson takes a knee rather than return. And the Panthers will start from the 20. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character, leadership, education, healthy lifestyles, and a whole lot more. For more information, visit foxsportsupports.com. That is a great program.
It really is. I grew up in a Boys and Girls Club in Solana Beach, California. Big part of my childhood.
Cam Newton on the handoff. Jonathan Stewart turns it into a nice gain. Good run by Stewart in his first game back after missing 3. And the ball up to the 33-yard line. We've come to the end of the third quarter. A dominant performance by the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers upset with himself that he didn't hit Richard Rodgers. And Mike Neal saying, it's okay, we'll protect the lead, Aaron.
Let's see, 19 of 22, 255, 3 touchdowns, 0 interception, and he's upset.
Oh, man, and he connected with 8 different receivers in this game. Jonathan Stewart, another good run. Stewart ripping up some a couple of big yardage plays. We go to the sideline to Pam Oliver.
Well, Sam, a few players being evaluated, and here's some updates on them. Brian Bell, he has an elbow injury. He's out. Kick returner Philly Brown is being evaluated for a concussion. He's out. Packers running back James Starks, he went back to the locker room to have that ankle looked at. It was taped. I guess they weren't satisfied with it. He went back for a further look. He is questionable. Back to you.
Thanks, Pam. Carolina having to dig into the backups on the offensive line. David Foucault is in at left tackle. But Jonathan Stewart with 3 straight runs. First he had a 13-yarder, then an 18-yarder, and this one a short one. As Carolina moving the ball on the ground, our game summary. Packers 5 touchdowns from 5 different players, 3 passes, 2 runs. Aaron Rodgers, another interception-free game. At the Packers 40, 2nd and 1. Stewart gets a first down.
And Sam, here's the bad news for Aaron Rodgers. He's only got about 90 left to catch Bart Starr.
That's right.
And if Bart Starr and his wife Sherry are watching, I just want to say our prayers are with you, Starr family. Mr. Starr, I had the opportunity, one of the great honors I ever received, winning the Bart Starr Award for work on and off the field, and couldn't have met 2 nicer people. I know how much they mean to the Green Bay area. Best of luck to you in your recovery.
Absolutely. You're right on that, John. Special man. Such a special figure in the Green Bay community and Packer legend. Newton going deep for Kelvin Benjamin, knocked away. Well played by Devon House.
Dom Capers said we're going to try to use the size of Devon House to match up with Kelvin Benjamin. But Cam Newton's just got to get that ball out there a little more and allow Kelvin Benjamin to use that size advantage, even on House, who's a taller corner.
Benjamin has caught 2 passes for 48 yards. Goes to the sideline.
Let's go.
Greg Olsen lines up in the backfield. Off the fake handoff outside to Jericho Cotchery, who has done that juggling act a couple of times, and he's able to hold on. Jarrett Bush taking him out of bounds down at the 27-yard line, making the 28.
He's bailed out Cam a couple of times. Cam has been off all day. The accuracy that I've seen all year hasn't been here today, even on the little throws like that. Errant in the throws, and that takes away from the yardage you can gain after you catch him.
Brenton Burson is in as a wide receiver to the right side. On 3rd and 3. Newton gets time, waiting. Finally flushed out and runs for it and dives for the first down. Good effort by Cam Newton. Mike Pinnell, the nose tackle, chasing him.
Great coverage down the field. Lattimore on Greg Olsen. Jason Avant covered by Casey Hayward. Nowhere for Cam to go. So what do? You use that ability that he and Aaron Rodgers have that make it so tough to defend these modern day quarterbacks.
First down, Carolina at the Green Bay 19. Jonathan Stewart, and this time the Packers stop him for a short gain. 13 carries, 56 yards for Jonathan Stewart in the game. Carolina, if they're going to be a division title contender, they won the division last year, 3-2-1. They've got to shore up the defense, though, John. They've given up way too many points. At least 35 in each of their last 4 games.
And they're making it easy. All you're having to do is get to that back end in space, and you've got a 50-yard plus play. That can't happen on defense at this level.
Newton in trouble. They got him. Julius Peppers was there first. Clay Matthews may get a part of this. We'll see if we can get him half a sack.
Now watch Peppers. and Matthews. This is what they envisioned when they went out and got Julius Peppers. Let's meet at the quarterback, Julius, says Clay Matthews.
52, defense, taunting. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Well, Clay Matthews is flagged for taunting.
I don't know. Jeff Triplett must have saw something we didn't. But Clay Matthews, I think, so happy to finally get to a quarterback and bring him down. He's been all over, near him, around him, affecting them. He finally got at least half a second.
And the penalty gives Carolina a first down just short of the 12-yard line. On the delay, Stewart. Looks like they're playing rugby down there. Mike Cornell leading the way. Well, Green Bay Packers, this is the start of a good stretch for them. 5 home games, including this one, in the next 7. They'll play New Orleans, then they get a bye, and then they'll play 3 out of 4 at home. So good stretch.
And I really think as this team, that's what you want to do. You want to get better as the season's going on. I'm seeing a team who's doing that. I think this is a contending team. I'm convinced.
2nd and 11. Newton being rushed, throws for the end zone. Kelvin Benjamin with a beautiful grab. And that time again, taking it away from Tramon Williams.
That's the matchup they want. Kelvin Benjamin against the smaller Tramon Williams. He uses his physicality. Cam gives him a chance to use it with the ball location. That's hard to defend.
That's an outstanding rookie receiver. Great hands. His 5th touchdown catch of the season. And some Panthers fans snuck into Lambeau. 11 plays, 85 yards for Carolina. On that drive, Graham Gano's extra point is good. And for the first time in the game, some life offensively for the Panthers. Kelvin Benjamin with a touchdown grab.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Domino's. Oh, yes, we did. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
The statue of the great Vince Lombardi out in front of Lambeau Field. And the Packers with a strong performance this afternoon, leading 38-10. There's Graham Gano. Will we see an onside kick? No, he line drives it. Juwan Harris missed it, picks it up at the 1-yard line. And he is brought down around the 10.
It's party time in Lambeau Field. The Pack fans are having some fun.
A tremendous legacy here in Green Bay with coach and quarterbacks Vince Lombardi and Bart Starr bringing NFL and Super Bowl championship. Then it was Mike Holmgren and Brett Favre together. And now we're seeing Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, who have won 1 Super Bowl, and who knows, there might be another one in the future very soon.
Some pretty good combinations. Coach and quarterback here in Green Bay.
And with a big score and the wide margin, Matt Flynn is in the game at quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers can rest. Look at these numbers. Aaron Rodgers passer rating for today, 154.5. A perfect rating is 158.3.
You see the last 4 games since the Detroit Lions got after him, he's making it look easy. It shouldn't be that easy. Aaron Rodgers is making it look easy. His team's rallying around him. There it is. Relax. That's what he told the fans. And when he speaks, they listen.
It's the phrase of the season for the Packers. John Kuhn, who hears the Kuhn calls from the crowd whenever he touches the football. The big fullback. Aaron Rodgers, 19 for 22. That's a completion percentage of 86.4. That's just fabulous.
As the kids say these days, that's sick. That is sick.
3 more touchdown passes, giving him 18 on the season, and still no interceptions since the 3rd quarter of the opening game of the season. 192 pass attempts without an interception. Trouble in the backfield for DeJuan Harris. Nowhere to go as he bumped into the quarterback, Matt Flynn. 3 and out for the Packers. We're under 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, as Aaron Rodgers could enjoy the work he did from the opening play of the game, as the Packers drove 80 yards and he hit the big connection with Jordy Nelson for 59 yards. That's Brenton Burson back deep to receive the punt. Tim Maste's kick. Burston at his own 29. Is brought down with a good ankle tackle by Kevin Dorsey at the 40-yard line. There's a flag on the play, late flag. And we'll check it out. For Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he came into the game 2nd best graded quarterback in the league behind Phillip Rivers, but he is playing, I would say, better than anyone in the league.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
there are 2 fouls on the play. Unnecessary roughness. Number 28 of the receiving team.
Nope. Let's get that straight.
Make sure we got it right.
Here we go. Who's on first?
And Derek Anderson is warming up. And there's a one-sided game. Cam Newton will sit out the remainder of the action. He did not have a sharp game. All right, Jeff.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal block in the back. Number 86 of the receiving team. After this play is over, personal foul. Number 26, 28 of the kicking team. By rule, those off penalties offset at the dead ball spot.
Okay. They finally cleared it up. A couple of fouls offset. We'll play it from that spot. And we'll be back.
Well, look at Aaron Rodgers. You talk about the quickest release. He's the Dan Marino of this generation. Nobody gets it out quicker. Aaron Rodgers making it look easy. I think he does better than anybody. He protects the football as well as taking it downfield. It's really, really incredible.
Well, the play back in at the 40-yard line with Derek Anderson in the quarterback. Anderson played the first game of the season when Cam Newton was out with a rib injury. There's a flag on the play at the line of scrimmage. All right, John, show us this release that you're talking about.
Well, we talked to Aaron Rodgers, and obviously a lot of that's just God-given ability, the ability to get rid of it so quick. But he said the one thing that really helped him, Jeff Tedford, who he played for at Cal, had him carry the ball up here all the time. He said, I don't carry it there anymore, but that training for 2 years, all you can do is take the ball right there, and it got my release a lot quicker. He said Jeff Tedford maybe hurt my draft status because his quarterbacks hadn't done great in the NFL, but I thank him to this day for that lightning quick release.
Yeah.
And Jeff Tedford, you did good work.
It's certainly helped him the way he's playing this year and the way he's played for the Green Bay Packers. Chris Obanayan at running back for Carolina. What's amazing is how he gets everyone involved in the offense right away. No one is left out. He forgot Davante Adams for a little while. He found him in the second half.
But nothing's for free. You have to earn his trust, and he made sure that Davante Adams, you see the the Green Bay D continue to tackle incredibly. Rodgers told us, look, these guys got to earn my trust in practice by the way they go about their work. You get open in practice, you catch it in practice, you'll be trusted. And last week, Davante Adams did that. He told him, he texted him that week and said, expect the ball a lot. And sure enough, he did get it to him.
Packers have a good chance of being in sole possession of first place in the NFC North. And the pass to Obadiah is dropped as Detroit is trailing New Orleans in Detroit 23-10. Both teams, the Lions and Packers, had been 4-2, but Green Bay had a loss to Detroit 19-7, and they were totally shut down. But now Green Bay about to go 5-2, and Detroit will be 4-3, and the Packers will take over first place in the division. There's 3rd and 11 for Derek Anderson, who puts it up deep and almost intercepted. Jarrett Bush was covering Jason Avant on the play. The pass a little overthrown.
Jason Avant did a nice job of becoming a defensive back right there. Derek Anderson trying to make something happen, just put it down the field, and Avant did a nice job of preventing the interception.
For Carolina, they go home to play the next 2 games at home against Seattle and then New Orleans.
Tough sledding.
Yeah. And there's a flag on the play as Nordman got the punt away and goes through the end zone. We'll check out the flag. 2 flags down. Earlier we talked about Seattle at St. Louis. St. Louis had that big lead. Now it's 28-26 as Seattle is closed to within a couple of points.
Two fouls on the play. Holding number 86 of the kicking team. Holding number 59 of the receiving team. Those penalties offset. Replay 4th down.
All right. We'll punt it again. That's Brandon Williams, the tight end, one of the tight ends for Carolina. Jordy Nelson had a touchdown reception. Only caught four passes, but for 80 yards. One big one of 59. Randall Cobb went over 100 yards in this game. 6 catches, 121 yards for him. And a touchdown. Fair catch waved for by Micah Hyde. Lets the ball bounce. And it's covered well by the Panthers at the 2-yard line. We're winding down. And the coach can smile even if he didn't agree with the referee. Halloween is coming early to Fox Monday. First, we've got monstrous villains and legendary heroes on a new Gotham. Then the forces of hell are breaking loose on a new Sleepy Hollow. Get your creep on tomorrow, beginning at 8/7 Central on Fox. Packers from the 2-yard line with 3 tight ends in. And Matt Flynn, the quarterback. DeJuan Harris, the ball carrier. Well, we've been talking about it. It's been quite a day for Aaron Rodgers.
And you see that lightning quick release to Jordy Nelson. That's what speed do. You see him extend the play, gets the ball to Randall Cobb, and then above the neck. He checked to that play. Aaron Rodgers, unbelievable in every facet of the game. He's having fun, as are his receivers. That's what speed do. That's Jerome Dyson from the Kansas City Royals, what he says about the Kansas City Royals running attack. That's what speed do, and speed kills.
And the trust he has that you talked about, connected with 9 different receivers in the game. Flag on the play. He's just getting started.
False start. Number 78 of the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat, 2nd down.
Derek Sherrod, who's in a tackle. The man called for the false start. The ball back to the 1-yard line. Kevin Dorsey, Devontae Adams coming in at wide receiver.
Rock! Box up!
I look at Aaron and I think he'd like to be out there no matter what.
He doesn't want to ever come out.
No. Short pass that's dropped by Brandon Bostic, the tight end.
And he's a guy, you talk about the opportunity to get better throughout the course of the season. Bostic, if you talk to Aaron Rodgers, that's the most talented tight end they have. Not the best, the most talented. He reminds him, Aaron Rodgers says, athletically of Jermichael Finley. He's still learning the system, earning that trust. Need to catch the ball a little better to earn that trust. But a wildly talented player they have in Bostic who really hasn't hit the field yet.
Right. I think the coach is trying to push him a little bit, trying to get the most out of him and trying to get focused on his game. Flynn looking to throw out of the end zone and throws it away as he got out of the box there. And we go down to the sideline to Pam Oliver.
Well, Sam, just to continue the conversation about Packers tight end, well, one stumbling block for starter Andrew Corliss, a 5-year career guy now with the Packers, it's been sometimes his unsteady confidence. Well, that's something Jermichael Finley has tried to help his former teammate overcome. I spoke with Finley last night about Corliss, and he told me his advice to him, get number 12 to be your number 1 advocate. Be consistent and get the most out of the opportunities you have to make plays. Corliss didn't get a lot of those today. Back to you.
He got the big one last week for the touchdown. They've got, as we pointed out, they've got some talent there. Richard Rodgers brought in a tight end, a 3rd-round draft pick this year out of California.
Some young players on the defense. Clinton Dix, Micah Hyde. These guys are young. They're always one of the youngest teams in the league. I think the interesting thing they did this year, they broke from their pattern. They brought Julius Peppers in, and he's been rejuvenated. He's fitting in this defense great. He's made them better. A tough defense to go along with Aaron Rodgers and company.
It was interesting listening to Clay Matthews tell us that he could go to a guy like Julius Peppers and ask him questions and talk to him. It was a good guy, a veteran guy for him to go to, because in the past they've been so young. And that completion of Brandon Williams, the tight end, 2nd-year man out of Oregon, and Clinton Dix, the 1st-round draft pick. And Clay Matthews saying he's brought and you touched on it, a physicality to the defense that they haven't had in many years.
He's an excellent football player, and he got the game ball last week in Miami. He's getting better every week, and when you have that at the safety position, it can really affect your defense in a positive manner.
1st down for Carolina. Derek Anderson completes to Brenton Burson, 1st-year man out of Wofford College. Not a whole lot of players coming out of Wofford. Derek Anderson, we mentioned, started game 1 against Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay, and Carolina won that game 20-14 with Cam Newton out with a rib injury. That was a big win for Carolina. Panthers will be 3-3-1 after this game. Anderson throws, and again to Brandon Williams. Update to Joel Klatt. We go.
All right, Sam, at the conclusion of your game, we'll be going down to Dallas, where the Cowboys are winners of 5 straight. They're going to host Eli Manning and the G-Men, who have won 4 of their last 5 in Dallas. It's America's Game of the Week. It's next, and it's on Fox.
Looking forward to that. Thanks, Joel. Is anybody playing better than Dallas? Maybe Green Bay's right there, but Dallas all around, they played so well.
DeMarco Murray running the ball so effectively, that offensive line imposing their will. Rod Marinelli, one of my former coaches, I think doing a great job with a defense that they've kind of just pieced together and playing great football. There's Clay Matthews. It was great. You know, how about as a resource. Not only can you go to Julius Peppers, you can pick up the phone and call your dad.
That's right.
That was a tremendous, and that's what Clay Matthews this week did. He was getting frustrated with the sacks. His dad told him, Clay told us, beat the guy in front of you. Back to basics, beat the guy in front of you. And Clay did that consistently all day.
2nd and 9 at the Packers 12. Derek Anderson throwing to the end zone too high. Brandon Williams is the man closest to the pass. Other good news for the Packers, the Chicago Bears losing at home to Miami, 27-14. We talked about Clay Matthews. He helped lead the defense in this game. I might have to wear that outfit for Halloween.
It looked good on you.
Yeah. Here's 3rd down for Carolina as we wind down here at Lambeau Field, with the Packers looking to go 3-0 at home and 4-0 against NFC teams. Derek Anderson throwing. Person down at the 1-yard line. 1st down for Carolina. What about this Carolina team? What do you see ahead for them, John, and especially in the NFC South?
You know, today may have not been a great indication, but I think the offense is going to be fine. I really do. I think with Cam Newton, you're going to move the ball, you're going to score points. Defensively, they've got serious issues, and I think most of all in that back end, they're struggling to tackle, giving up too many big plays.
Anderson able to connect with Brenton Burson for a touchdown. It looked like Anderson was falling down on the play. And for Brenton Burson, his first NFL touchdown.
Well, watch Derek Anderson. He's going to see the one-on-one matchup out there. He gets stepped on by his left guard and finds a way to keep his focus downfield and thread the ball in there to Burson. Nice job by Derek Anderson. Derek Anderson, I'm talking to him down on the field, a new proud papa. Got a baby girl, 8 weeks old, so congratulations to the Anderson family.
Absolutely. Ron Rivera saying they feel they have the best backup in the NFL, and Derek Anderson did a good job earlier this season. Veteran quarterback coming in, putting a touchdown on the board as time winds down in this game. Still alive here in Lambeau. The extra point is good. And it's 38-17 in favor of Green Bay. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, Carissa Thompson is in Dallas for an exclusive one-on-one with the star of the biggest game of the week, the Cowboys and the Giants. And on Fox Sports Live, they'll preview Tuesday's Game 1 of the World Series. I'll have highlights from a full day around the NFL. Fox Sports Live tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
We talk about one-on-one. Let's look at the locks. Burson versus Matthews. Who do you like, Sam?
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. It would have been all Clay Matthews up until this year. Burson's pretty good.
Josh Sitton wants in. He's saying, hey, give me a piece.
Gano kicks it deep. Micah Hyde has it go over his head and through the end zone for a touchback.
Well, one of the great traditions throughout the NFL, the Lambeau League. Jordy Nelson gets up there. Randall Cobb, little catch up on the shoulder. Here's Devontae Adams, the rookie's got some leaps. Those guys know how to do it.
Now,
and here's how you don't do it.
He's not used to this.
Let's not detract from the play. An incredible play from Julius Peppers. But he's new here in Green Bay, so Morgan Burnett's got to point him in the right direction. And he kind of gets stuck.
Help him out, guys, please.
Oh, boy.
Julius Peppers has set it in nicely in Green Bay. Joel Klatt, how about an update?
All right, Sam, how about Detroit? After a Breeze interception, Stafford drives the field and finds Corey Fuller. First career TD. They've got a 1-point lead, 1:48 left. Saints have one timeout left. Good one there in Detroit. Sam and John.
How about that? I jumped the gun.
I think a lot of people did.
Comes back and grabs the lead with less than 2 minutes to go. Stay with us for the State Farm Game Break Show. It's coming up next, as we'll get scores and highlights. We might have some bonus coverage. And don't forget, America's Game of the Week, Giants and Cowboys in Dallas. That should be something. You still got a good look. I wouldn't mind that hair.
That hair's made him a lot of money.
St. Louis defeated Seattle. They held on. The Rams, how about that? They're playing with some guts. 28-26. As time winds down, the Packers are 5-2. Carolina 3-3-1. For John Lynch and Pam Oliver, this is Sam Rosen. Let's go to Kurt Menefee.